Hello there, my very good friends. Andy Murray here from What Culture. This is Adam Wilborn from What Culture. He could probably say his own name, right?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Adam.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping for. And we're here to predict Backlash France. Backlash 2024. This weekend, this Saturday. Very nice, favourable time for us European pay-per-view viewers. Love that from WWE. Please do more of it. But it's a trademark Triple H kind of shorter card when it comes to these B pay-per-views, I guess you could call them. He doesn't load them up with match. He loads them up with match, a 30-minute break, match.
Have you seen the Eiffel Tower before?
Yeah, look at this. He's going to pick the Eiffel Towers in Leon.
Yeah.
Silly sausage, not Sidney Govou and Kareem Benzema. But we're going to
Juninho Pernambuco, is he?
Pernambuco.
Is that his name? Pernambucano?
There you go. He was also Brazilian, but never mind.
Did he play for Leon? Or just made that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did. You got that one. We're going to kick this one off. We're going to talk. We're going in the fabled and must be adhered to Wikipedia order
Smart.
here. So this might not be the first match on the card, but it is the first one we're predicting.
The Bloodline 2.0, I suppose, versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Really excited to see this, to see what Tama Tonga wrestling in WWE looks like. A lot of pressure on him. They've presented him brilliantly from the moment he's arrived in WWE. I sense he's not going to be the only new arrival for the Bloodline, and perhaps that's what wins them the match, because I think the Bloodline kind of have to go over here, don't they?
Yeah, it would be a bit naff if you spend all this time, with Tama Tonga, with Solo Sikoa trying to establish them as their new thing away from Roman Reigns, away from the Usos, and then they just lose. That would be a bit whack. As much fun as Kev and Randy are, they just have a tremendous dynamic on television. Like, even all the way sitting up there in the stadium for WrestleMania, just watching them fart around on a little cart. It's a great time. But these guys are here, Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga are here to ruin the great time. They've got to go over. They should go over, they shouldn't squash them or anything, but they should go over pretty convincingly. Perhaps with the arrival of a new member of the Bloodline 2.0.
Yeah, I think Jacob Fatu's going to show up here and effectively win the Bloodline the match. You can have Kevin Owens and Randy Orton spin off. Arguably, there's a feud between the two of them, because I loved the bit where Logan Paul wasn't even in the match, despite how despised he was at WrestleMania. Those two going at it is a load of fun, and it's quite fun to predict which one of them is going to turn heel on each other first, basically. But yeah, I think the Bloodline have to win. I think we talked about it a few weeks back, that it was meant to be the Smackdown before the draft, or the Smackdown of the draft, where Fatu was going to show up. I think they've saved it here for a big seismic moment on pay-per-view.
And that's going to be really fun as well, because he's, as well as being just a really imposing and cool-looking dude, he's also a phenomenal wrestler. So that'll give a different dynamic to all of this, because Solo plays the enforcer role. Tama's kind of done that recently as well, with like more of a aggressive dynamic to him.
3 enforcers in the Bloodline, I love it.
Yeah, but one is like an absolute dynamic specimen of a worker, so it's going to be really awesome.
Paul Heyman's face is going to be a picture. Oh God, you. Oh, and you. And you. Oh God.
What is going to happen to the Bloodline? Oh, that's my Paul Heyman. Right, we're going to move on to the next match on the card. We're talking about the big two birds. Let's call them that.
Yes.
Gone from the big three, we got two of the big three. It's Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair facing off against the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championships, which is, kind of a continuation of WrestleMania in many ways, and what happened pre-WrestleMania when we had the 3-on-3 with Damage Control, which had the incredible ring entrances for the big three. And was a fun. Look, I thought it was a fun match. A lot of people were angry with it. I thought it was pretty good.
What's wrong with it?
So I don't know. People just like.
Probably were angry with a lot of dumb reasons for that match.
Yeah, I think.
Why are you in the ring for 2 seconds whilst the girls are coming in?
Why isn't Jade working holds? Why isn't she done a triple shooting star press?
Yes.
It's like, relax sometimes, eh? But to me, again, this is a pretty cut and dry match, right?
Yes.
I love the Kabuki Warriors. I think that they are really fun goofballs in their current roles. Asuka's dancing is incredible. She dances like a 60-year-old woman at a wedding. It's unbelievable. That's mostly why I'm here, for the entrances. But jokes aside, it's two absolute just wonder worker wrestlers in the Kabuki Warriors. Bianca is the best stadium wrestler in WWE in terms of creating that spectacle, and like how she structures her spots, like her big physical spots around the crowd reaction. And what they will do is a really good job of building to Jade's big moments where she tags in, hits the kicks, hits the corner splashes, hits Jaded. It's going to be a really good time. It's going to be set up for that. Jade is going to be protected as she should be. She should only wrestle for like a minute in this, honestly, because she's a truly special prospect in this company. I think the big 2/3 take the win.
I think I agree with you on that one. Like you say, quite a few predictable matches on Backlash. Not always bad. I loved Elimination Chamber, and that was incredibly predictable as well. But I think despite a match where Cody is defending his world title for the first time on Premium Live event is happening on this card, I'm more confident of the result of this match. You have to put Jade and Bianca over. I mean, I know it is a thrown together tag team, which is kind of echoes of the old regime, but I cannot wait till these two cannot coexist anymore, because I think Jade Bianca is going to be an incredible match and an incredible feud. But for now, they have to win the tag titles. I think you can have some fun rematches as well, mixing it up, you know, throwing in other members of Damage Control in there to try and fight for them. They've been drafted to Raw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's right.
So eventually, I know I'm getting far ahead of myself here, they could be, like Kyrie's saying, could be a brilliant babyface challenger for Liv Morgan, for example. If you want to keep her having great matches until Rhea Ripley's ready to return.
Yeah, keeping Liv Morgan having great matches will be a challenge, so Kyrie's probably a good opponent for her.
But yeah, Jade and Bianca have to win, and I think, yeah, this is going to be a real moment at Backlash France.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Spectacle.
Absolutely.
Spectacle.
Speaking of spectacle...
Bam!
Triple threat for the, I always forget what it's called, Smackdown Women's Championship. I'll just play it safe. WWE Women's Championship?
I don't remember which one's which either because I am an idiot.
WWE World Women's Championship. Bayley defending not just against Naomi, as we initially thought, but also Tiffany Stratton. And belated happy birthday to her from the other day as well. With the ominous figure of Nia Jax, I suppose, hovering over all this. In my opinion, possibly the best draft that happened across those two nights. I love Nia Jax on SmackDown. Will she interfere in this match? I don't think so. I know it's a triple threat and anything goes. I think she'll probably make her statement following this, maybe even straight after the match. I mean, there's a bit of me that wants Nia to get involved and cost Bayley the title and Tiffany Stratton to just win it. But I think, you know, it's Backlash. It's straight after WrestleMania. All the titles that changed hands at WrestleMania don't normally switch after that straight out of the gate. I think Bayley deserves a decent run as SmackDown Women's Champion. And I don't know who you pin actually in this match. Maybe you can pin Tiff. I've just said that she wins the title. Maybe you can pin Tiff because she's my pick for Money in the Bank this year.
Yeah, I think she really is the ideal pick for that role. It's your idea, but the pink briefcase is a sensational bit of business. I love it when people customize their props, their things, like Damian Priest this year with his stupid purple briefcase, because he's into flipping Judgment Day. For me, the most interesting version of this match and what comes after is that Bayley wins this and then feuds with Nia Jax, because the new version of Nia Jax whips ass. I say this on every single video. For about 4 hours on the 1st of January, Nia Jax had my match of the year versus Becky Lynch on that Raw. It was just a really great bully asshole heel versus selling babyface struggling from beneath. It's classic pro wrestling styling. I went 4 stars on it. My question I ask this in this year is, when I watch a match and I think it's great, was it as good as or better than Becky versus Nia? If it's yes, it was great. Wow. If it wasn't, it was just very good. So I think that this version of Nia Jax versus this version of Bayley is a really fun pairing. Tiffany's time will come. She's, 25 the other day?
Yeah.
Loads of time ahead of her. I understand there was a bit of frustration with maybe how WWE didn't necessarily follow up on the immense explosion she got of popularity in Elimination Chamber. But we've sped back up since then. I think Naomi takes the pin here. I think that you could spin her off in some kind of different direction coming off of that loss. And I think that if you're going to use Nia in some role in this match, she shouldn't interfere. She should just beat up the winner. If you're interfering, it suggests that she's going to feud with the person she attacks.
Yeah.
But you'd want the person she attacks to win, so it's quite difficult. I'm going Bayley, and then she feuds with Nia. and we all have a good time.
Yeah, there's so much potential for really fun action in this match. I think they're all so brilliantly talented. Like, the prettiest moonsault ever is one of my favourite new moves that have been introduced on the main roster. Naomi's just class, obviously. And yeah, babyface Bayley is something we've looked forward to for a long time. I mean, we're not going to get this version back, unfortunately. Maybe we do.
If you put like some Egyptian paraphernalia on there, you might get that. But yeah, you're not wrong.
Never mind. What we got next?
Well, here's the thing. We've only got like 2 matches left on this card.
Oh.
So maybe let's spend a couple of minutes thinking maybe they're going to add someone else, right?
Yeah.
Because it is a little bit sparse. Not that Triple H is averse to only having 4 or 5 matches on the show. But they have teased a rather big Intercontinental title match. Do you think they'll throw that on here?
Yeah, I think we were talking about this before we came in, and if they are going to add another match, it's either an IC title match or Becky Lynch defending a title against Liv Morgan. I don't think they're going to do the Becky Liv match because it's 2 or 3 days before it, basically, and you sense they want to build that one up because I think when that match does happen, Liv Morgan takes the title.
She does.
Because it just feels, for all the people who kicked off when Becky won, it's like they want to give Liv the big win on pay-per-view rather than just winning a battle royal to establish her as a proper
People
heel.
have no patience.
But the IC title match, I could see that. You know, Sami Zayn is a fighting champion. He could insist himself. You know what? No, I'm not waiting around. You know, Gunther was brilliant as the Intercontinental Champion. I had this amazing moment overcoming him at WrestleMania, and I want to, for the fans in France, I want to defend this IC title against both Chad Gable and Big Bronson Reed. I'm slightly concerned for Sami Zayn if he does that he loses, because I want to get that title on Chad Gable as soon as possible.
Yeah. I think they'll probably hold off on both of those matches. Although if they're going to add one, I think the IC title match is likelier for the reasons you've outlined. I think they will build to Liv beating Becky. Becky's going to put Liv over so well.
Oh, yeah.
And all that kerfuffle there was about Becky burying people the other week, very silly, if you ask me. And you didn't, but you're getting it anyway.
Hey.
What about a possible match for the hometown boy himself, absent from the card, Baron Corbin? Where is he?
I was just about to say, why not make the IC title a 4-way and just hoy Baron Corbin in for the monster pop?
Just get the pop.
I would say someone like Dominic Mysterio, but I was injured, so let's just say JD McDonough. JD McDonough comes out, you just need some little weaselly twat, basically, to come out and say, this Leon's rubbish. I wish I was not here. No one likes Leon. No one likes France. And then Baron Corbin comes out and sets his name on fire and then kicks his ass in 6 seconds.
What if Judinho Pumba Rumba or whatever you called him? What if he's in the front row and he gets insulted by a heel?
He gets beaten up by Baron Corbin, does JD McDonough, and he says, "Here you go, Juninho Pernambucano.
Pernambucano.
You get a free kick."
There you go.
Moving on.
Speaking of set pieces, it's the boys, Damian Priest, in the first of the 2 men's World Championship matches, the World Heavyweight Championship here. Damian Priest defending against Jey Uso, who won this opportunity on the Raw after WrestleMania when he won that 4-way that CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre in, which is setting up the WWE feud of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's Mr. Yeet against Damian here. It's Priest's first big headlining match as the World Heavyweight Champion. He obviously cashed in on Drew at the pay-per-view, so it fits together in a nice little pile of stuff here. How do you see this one going? Jay's entrance in Europe is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Don't know what yeet is in French, but yeah, it's going to be going off there. Michael Hamfler is to blame for my prediction here, because I was all ready to just say, Damian Priest wins, and we move on. Like you say, you've got lots of people queuing up to face him, lots of exciting new feuds. And then he said, King of the Ring's at the end of this month, and they might just run it back there because, yep, that makes sense. The Jey Uso thing is just keeping on going, and you want to kind of keep him in the main event picture as long as possible until Jimmy comes back, as we've predicted before. But you also don't want Damian Priest to be like, I'm going to cheat to win here. So I like the idea of, not that I like the idea, I can see them doing either a thrown out finish, or Damian Priest cheats to win but doesn't realise, because the Judgment Day get themselves involved in this match, and Priest, he's slowly turning babyface, of course. He's the leader of the Judgment Day, but they're still not really listening to him with Rhea Ripley gone. And I'd say the big match you want to build to. I don't know whether they can get to SummerSlam with this or what, because there's about 12 different PLEs prior to that. And it's all a bit of a mad summer with Bash in Berlin, etc., etc. The big match for me is Damian Priest versus Finn Balor for the world title. And I think you can get towards that by having Finn or JD or even Dom with his sling on help Damian Priest beat Yeet here. Beat Yeet's meat here. That's... and you can run it back. You can run it back at King of the Ring. But yeah, Damian Priest retains one way or another.
Yeah, I think he retains as well. But my fantasy booking is entirely more biased. And probably less realistic. Damian Priest carries the belt to Clash at the Castle in Scotland, where Drew McIntyre as a situational babyface against a situational heel. Damian Priest, he's a heel already, but he's leaning babyface. In a really unique atmosphere in front of probably about 200 fans because they've completely ballsed the ticketing for this show. But he is dethroned by Drew McIntyre in Scotland, is what my mush mouth is trying to say here.
One question for you before you move on. A lot is going to put your reputation on the line here.
Oh.
Is this going to be better than Jay versus Jimmy at WrestleMania?
Well, I mean,
it's a high bar to clear.
If Damian is capable of doing more than one move, I think we're onto something. Look, Damian Priest has already proved himself very, very capable when it comes to carrying a non-wrestler to a great match. Yeah. Bad Bunny last year, if he can do it with one non-wrestler, he can do it with another one. That's really hard.
We're joking. Jay's great.
I love Jey Uso. I love doing the yeet and all that stuff. But that match was toilet.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
I will have positive memories of it going forward, though. Like, whenever I think of that match, I'm not going to think of, they did 70 super kicks and then they did a weird melodrama spot. No, I'm going to think of Lil Wayne being weird. I'm going to think of Yeet in the entrance. And then I'm going to think of the crazy spear they did the following night, where it was incredible.
And at least Jimmy didn't win, I suppose.
Exactly.
Main event time, no surprises, of course. Cody Rhodes defending against AJ Styles. Little bit of a panic about this over last weekend, because I watched Smackdown and thought, why is Cody holding his shoulder? Why am I getting flashbacks to Daniel Bryan winning the world title and then the subsequent reign that he had? I think he's fine. Meltzer's pretty much said as much of, they'd probably work this into a storyline if he was carrying something that was going to, factor him out of title contention or, holding his title and running with it. I think they're going to utilise it in the match. Obviously, why wouldn't you say, target the shoulder that he slightly injured defending against Carmelo Hayes, or not defending, but fighting Carmelo Hayes on last week's SmackDown. But again, I'd probably bet my house on Cody Rhodes retaining here. Yeah, me too. Imagine if they just went, story's finished now, off you go, mate. Here's the epilogue, chief. That would actually be quite funny. But yeah, AJ is the definition of a challenger of the month, right? Like, he's got the credibility. He's a former champion here. He's one of the greatest North American wrestlers of his generation, maybe all time. Considering what he's done in TNA and New Japan. Very skilled. On the downswing of his career, he's a guy you can beat in this role, and Cody Rhodes will beat him rather handily. Here's a question, to make things a little bit more, because he can hit a super Styles clash off the top rope on the bad shoulder or whatever, or he can hit, multiple phenomenal forearms. You're still not going to buy a pinfall for AJ Styles. Do Gallows and Anderson get involved here? They just got a big win on, well, not a big win, they just got a win on NXT this week. I wasn't sure whether that was establishing them for fighting for the tag titles on NXT or just saying, look, they can win. So look out, because, I don't know, it just feels like you need a little bit of something extra. I'm surprised they haven't been factored in the build-up to this of oh no, you just got rid of one person who was already relying on outside interference, and here comes another one. In that case, do you think Cody has a couple of equalizers up his sleeve? He's obviously friends with Jey Uso. Who else would you kind of counter that Sammy, I suppose, if he's not doing out, can make a run in. Baron Corbin.
This could be a spot for the hometown boy himself. Francis baby boy.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of interest.
Thierry Henry.
Sidney Govou, other people, other footballers we've just mentioned. I don't know many other Lyon players. Rayan Cherky, think he could show up?
This is testing my football grid knowledge now.
Tagliafico,
Coupe,
the goalkeeper guy, very good.
He's a safe pair of hands.
Yeah. Yes,
Cody Rhodes is retaining, is what we're saying here.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes is going over and he's probably going to hold it.
It'll be a good match as well. It's AJ Styles.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
He's shown what he can do with LA Knight, for example, and yeah, there's a nice spot where, like, I don't know, he gets caught attempting a phenomenal forearm into a crossroads for the finish. I think it's going to be it's predictable, like I say, but it's going to be an enjoyable PLE nonetheless.
Yeah, I think so. I always love the unique atmospheres when they go to a market that they haven't visited, since goodness knows
God, yeah.
when. Have they ever done a televised event in Lyon? I have no idea. Let me know in the comments below. But also let us know your predictions in the comments below. Do you disagree with us on any of them? I would be very surprised if you disagreed about this one. But hey, I don't know. Maybe you just really love AJ Styles and think he's going to win. Fair play. Or maybe you're Mia Yim or Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows and you know something. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the PLE on Saturday evening or morning in the US, I guess.
It's so hard for you guys.
And if you enjoyed this video, check out this one here. What kind of a psychopath would rank every gimmick match ever?
What?
Gareth Morgan, that's who.
Check it out.
He did it. It's good.